for you as an entrepreneur business owner, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. But if you are thinking about being wealthy, you're thinking about creating wealth, going from active business owner to passive investor, there's only three things that those guys really need to focus on. And no matter whether you're watching the news, you're watching what's going on with Powell and going over things going on in big banks, you're watching quarterly earnings, you're doing the thing that all business owners do. They're paying attention to the world, to the economy. You need to focus on your own economy. So if the three things you're going to focus on to move from being an active owner or entrepreneur to a passive investor, the main things you're going to always focus on, if you can boil it all down to one thing, it's always going to be income. Always going to be revenue for your company, for your business, for sales, whatever that is. But the ones who succeed at this thing, the ones who actually go from active to passive, focusing on three incomes, focus on your earned income or your business revenue, your top line growth. Because that is the thing that matters. If you can expand the top line, you can always tighten up the bottom and in the middle, but you got to continue to expand. So that's number one: expand, grow, revenue, income, earned income, top line. That is your game. The next thing you're going to have to focus on is your passive income. This is typically where a lot of people fail. They'll be like, yeah, I want to get into real estate, Vic. I want to invest in real estate. So they have their business and then they'll take money from their business and then they'll go and buy real estate, not realizing buying real estate as it relates to buying real estate, operating real estate, the stuff that you see or what you're sold on CNBC or all the seminars or all the stuff, that is another business. You aren't going to make a ton of money running two businesses. There's a saying, he who chases two rabbits catches neither. So, which rabbit are you going to chase? The one that's already generating revenue and income for you, or the one that you have to take your eye off the ball and go do something else, right? It's like having two girlfriends. You can't have a wife and a girlfriend or a husband and a boyfriend. Somebody's going to miss out. And you need to focus on the one that's giving you the most attention right now, probably your own business. So, if you are going to take your eye off the ball, then you need to, if you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur already, yes, the second focus that you're going to focus on is passive income. How do you get that? By investing money. You take your revenue because you're focusing on your income and you take what's left out of expenses, taxes, operations, paying salaries, all that stuff, and then you invest it in something that pays you passive revenue, passive income that you don't have to work for. Maybe you jump on a few phone calls, stuff that we do at Bell Capital. We are the business for you to invest into because you're investing in the real estate, right? So that's a wealthy entrepreneur, wealthy business owner that goes from active to passive. So you're going to focus on your passive income growth. Focus on your income revenue growth, then you focus on your passive income growth by investing. Next thing, and this one, people, this is the really the Mac Daddy. This is why this channel exists. CNBC. The most successful entrepreneurs, business owners, they focus on equity, right? So if you have a business, the next thing you need to focus on is growing your company, which is why I talk about top line revenue and focusing on now equity growth. Because if your company's worth more, then you can have a bigger exit. How do you figure that out? Well, you take the company or the industry that you're in, you get an idea just as what they do. They do all these projections, quarterly projections, Q1, 2, 3, and 4, and then they do it for the next year. Then they do it for 5 years. Now, once they do that, they can go to their accountant, their CPA, they can go to somebody who's going to value their company, give a valuation based on the industry, based on future income from that company, production, whatever. And then they can say, you know what, based on this, your company is worth X based on EBITDA or whatever, however they're going to use the valuation for your company and your growth in your industry. That's the equity piece, right? Same thing with real estate. When we invest in a piece of real estate, we're like, great, we're going to protect our capital. It cash flows, passive income, right, to us and our investors and operations. And then next, what is the equity going to be worth X amount of years later? 5 years, 7 years, 3 years, 10 years, 100 years in the future. That is the game that most people play. But if you're a business owner, you're trying to go from wealth, you're trying to go from active into a passive business owner, then you got to take a look and leverage your own company. You can't do that unless you're thinking, oh, I'm going to grow the top line revenue of my company. I'm going to continue to grow it so we have more money based on our operations and expenses and salaries, things like that, and taxes. And then we're going to take that money and we're going to invest that money into something passive, some vehicle. Like I said, real estate, number one real estate. Real estate's the number one wealth builder in the world, country, since inception, period, end of story. I don't care what anybody says. Real estate's been around longer than the stock market. Real estate's been around longer than stocks, period. Stocks used to be. uh, cows, goats, things like that. It was your stock. You had a bunch of stock, right? So then you just moved there to shares of companies, which are just your stock. Anyways, don't get me on that because I like that stuff. But then the next piece of that is you need to be focused on the equity. So once you invest in passive income based on real estate, then later you're like, cool. What's the equity going to be later that I'm going to get a piece of that equity while I wait, while I'm growing my company? Most people don't even think about that. So when you're thinking about how do I go from an active business owner to a passive investor in real estate, this is how. One, you focus on your revenue. Next, you take the pieces of your revenue that you made over and above and you invest it. Now, because the benefit of that is you're not going to lose it. You're investing it in real estate. And then while you're waiting for that, you get this equity bump. You get an equity bump from your company because the valuation went up because your revenues went up. And oh, by the way, you have passive investments in an asset class that cannot be destroyed, disrupted. It's not going anywhere. It's housing because it's real estate. Now you have your passive income, and then you have your equity from there waiting and growing. And that money's working for you harder than you had to work for it for your company. And then later, maybe you exit a company. Maybe you have a big exit. Maybe you sell your company for 50, $100 million. And then later, the money that you had that is now worth with leverage double or triple in a real estate investment, that money is now exploded as well because you have an equity ownership in that. So the valuation of the business, the company goes up, the real estate goes up, you get paid to wait, and you got paid to wait. That is the game of a wealthy owner and or a wealthy entrepreneur. That is what they do. If you want to be active, great, stay active. You need to do that. And you need to repeat the cycle. It's a cycle. Earn money, save money, invest money. While that money is invested, you're focusing on earned income, passive income, equity buildup in both sides, one in your company, one in your investments. That is how wealthy owners, wealthy entrepreneurs, wealthy professionals play the game. You ever wonder why the wealthy continue to get wealthy or the rich continue to get richer? It's because they're just playing by a whole different playbook. Most people aren't taught this. They watch this stuff over and over and over again, and they buy the story that Wall Street and big banks sell to us middle class owners, middle class investors, middle class millionaires, middle class entrepreneurs. Go to school, get a college degree, get a job, buy a home, stay planted in one place, leave your money in the bank. We will give you no return on the money in your savings, but we're going to make all the money. We're going to reinvest that money. And oh, by the way, put a bunch of money in a retirement account while you're 20 in hopes that when you're 65, that money will still be there for you. And if you take it out, you get penalized. And oh, by the way, if you live long enough when you're 72, you mandatorily have to take out 4% a year, every year of your principal because you got to start paying taxes on that money. Like it's a giant scam. It really is. Wall Street, big banks, insurance, retirement accounts, all of that are products. Mortgages is a product of banks. It is all designed to continue to keep the middle class stuck in this trap. And why am I bringing that up? Because if you are an entrepreneur, if you don't have a company that's like $500 million, you're in the middle class. There's people who, and when I talk about middle class, I'm not talking about the middle class that you're thinking of. I'm talking about people who make 200, 300, $400,000 a year are still living paycheck to paycheck. Business owners in this country, 67 businesses in this country fail. Only 1% of businesses have over $1 million worth of revenue in the United States. That's on the average, right? So if there's 33 million businesses in this country and only I think there was like 25 million of them have one employee or less. That is a huge thing to kind of think about. There's not a lot of business and entrepreneurial success. People make it, but they're still in the trap. The only way out of that trap is to do what I'm talking about right now. Focus on the three pieces, three incomes: passive income or your earned income from your business, getting your revenue up, passive income, and the equity in your company. Or same thing for your investments. You're going to focus on cash flow. You're going to focus on appreciation for the future, and then you're going to focus on the equity that's being built up because that affects your net worth and your balance sheet. You do that, you become one of these guys, one of these people here, right? Wall Street is not set up for the little guy. Your company is set up to help generate revenue, grow for you and your family, to service the people that you service as it relates to your customers, your clients, people buy your products and services. That's how this thing works. But you also have a duty to create wealth for you and your family, period. No matter what's going on in the world. Economically, you have to eventually create your own economy. And you are doing that if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a high paid professional. It becomes your duty to actually also create wealth for you and your family, right? And this is how you do it. So, number one, Wealthy business owners and entrepreneurs focus on three incomes: earned income, passive income, and equity buildup in their company and or their investments. You always want to be focusing on those three things. So what can you do about that? All right. More sales, more marketing. That's the way to generate revenue and income in your company. Administrative and operations, you can do that, but that is not the income generating activities for you. If you're a CEO, founder like myself, it is always taking a look at, hey, what kind of investments can we make? How can we service more people? How can we help more people? How can we help our teams grow? How can we continue to expand and scale our organization so we can actually make an effect on the world and do better and be able to help more people and be the example of what we're doing? That is what you got to do if you're a founder or CEO. But the big picture about this is you want to continue to expand and become active as an owner to a passive investor. And this is the route to be able to do that. So I would love to help you guys. I'm here for you. Go to bell-capital.com if you're interested in investing with us. If you want to be able to join us, we have a passive investor network that we started. Go to bell-capital.com/RSVP. We are doing networking events. It's just for business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals interested in passive investing. We have a lot of connections there for you. My goal is to help you grow and expand your portfolio by connecting with better people like you, people who have more time to create than hate, more interested in success, people committed to making wealth their duty. That way it can help you grow and expand, introduce you to new opportunities. That is my job. That is my job. I want that for you. That's why I do these videos. So I hope this helps you guys. Like this video, share this video, comment on the video, and I'll be here for you. Subscribe to the channel too. All right, man. Let me know what you guys need. I'm here. Have a great day. Let's go. Boom. Are you an accredited investor with $300,000 or more liquid in the bank? I want you to come and partner with me. Look, if you love real estate, passive income, and positive cash flow, appreciation over long periods of time, and you're willing to be patient, come invest with me. Go to bell-capital.com. This is for accredited investors with $300,000 or more in the bank, ready to go. Come invest with me. Go to bell-capital.com.